the sickest channel on YouTube where I teach you guys how to skateboard. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and officially become a member of the Coyote Clan. So, as always, let's jump into the video. So here it is, probably my #1 most requested video. Everybody's been asking me to make a video about frontside feeble grinds, so here it is. Before you do the frontside feeble, try to find a flat bar that's a round rail, circular, because it's the easiest thing to do it on, and make sure you have frontside 50/50s and frontside board slides extremely well before you try this trick. So let's peep the footage and get into the video breakdown, dude. Sick! So with the frontside feeble, you want to make sure that your frontside 50/50s are super easy and you have them every single time. So the difference is when you're approaching the rail, approach it like a front 50, but take a little bit more of an angle, and that should set you up perfectly for the frontside feeble. The next thing that you want to keep in mind is your foot placement. I'm going to show a little clip of my feet so you can check out where I put them, but it's very similar to an ollie. So this is probably the most important part of the frontside feeble, is getting into it. A lot of times it's really easy to slip into a frontside board slide or not lock in properly, and all you want to do is find your angle and just ollie. You don't want to move your upper body, you don't want to move your lower body. The only thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be pointing your front toe towards the bolts, just kind of poking it out ever so slightly so that you can lock into the frontside feeble. So now that we're all locked into the front feeble, I want you to notice my front foot. So not only do you point that toe to lock in, but you want to have your front foot right in the middle of the board, and you want to have it at a 45-degree angle. The reason that you want to have it like this is, one, so your heel doesn't drag against the rail, and number two, if you notice, it's right in the middle, which helps me center my weight kind of on the rear end of my skateboard. So with both of your feet on the board, you want most of the weight on your back foot, but you still want a little bit of weight on your front foot, and that is why your foot is in the middle of the board. Because if your foot was farther forward, you're gonna stick, okay? And you need your toe to be pointed out to kind of guide it, but you also want a little bit of weight right there in the middle, but still have most of the weight on your back foot, okay? Another thing that is super important that I struggle with, and I think a lot of people don't actually think about this, but your back foot. So in some of these clips I'm going to show you, my back foot is right above the bolt in the pocket, which your foot kind of naturally wants to go that way, and if you're going fast enough you might get away with it, but if you notice, if your foot is right there in the pocket, you're going to kind of nosedive and you're going to have a hard time pulling the feeble out. So what I like to do is make sure that my back foot is just a little bit up on the tail, and that gives me the leverage I need to pull out of the frontside feeble. Another huge thing to keep in mind is the shoulders. So getting back to ollieing into the feeble, you want to keep your shoulders squared up with the rail. So during the entire trick, you want your shoulders to be parallel to the rail, and then you ollie straight and you slightly point your toe out. But keep in mind, during the whole entire trick, your shoulders are straight with the rail. If you don't keep your shoulders straight, it's going to be a lot harder for you to grind it properly, and you might even stick, and then when you get to the end, it's going to be hard to pull the trick out. So another thing that seems to go wrong, and I do this sometimes, is I lock on the other side of my truck. A proper front feeble is you want to lock on the inside wheel and then have your board just gliding on top. And in this little clip I'm going to show you right here, I lock on the other side of the wheel. And if you do that, you're not going to grind properly and you're probably not going to land it. So that all comes down to timing. Everybody's timing is different. So if you're locking on the other side of the truck where you're not supposed to be locking into, I would say just either go at more of an angle, less of an angle, and then think about when you're popping. Are you popping really close to the rail or away from it? Just play with that, and then you know when you're gonna lock in the right way. So now let's talk about dismounting the front feeble. If everything is completely proper, your back foot is up on the tail, your front foot is sideways and in the middle, and your shoulders are straight, you're probably gonna just lift off the end by putting a little bit of pressure on your back foot, and it's honestly a super easy trick to come out of. But one thing that can go wrong is your board can primo or flip off to the left and to the right, and this comes down to just rail skating in general. Almost every single trick that you try, it's super important that your body is like a straight line above the rail. You want to be completely on top of the rail. A lot of people, they kind of push it in there and they're leaning, like I'm goofy, so I'd be leaning to the right side of the rail, but even if you're leaning over to the left, the board isn't going to be level and it might you know, primo out or flip out. So always have your body weight completely standing up tall above the rail, just like in line with the rail. So if you do all of those things correctly, you're gonna have them little frontside feet grinds. Thank you guys for watching this video. Seriously, like, it's so much fun for me. I love skateboarding and I love helping everybody with skateboarding. And yeah, we did the front feeble. It was like our #1 most requested video. And your boy delivered. Like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you wanna see in the next video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.